Hello, this is the informational chat entitled What to Do If You Are Thinking About Adopting a Baby. I'm Dr. Berger, a psychologist and founder and director of a not-for-profit and fully licensed adoption agency, and I have been helping pregnant women, birth mothers, and birth fathers and families in all 50 states for over 40 years. We have helped in all kinds of adoptions and have completed almost 900. Like so many people who contact me, you may have heard some misleading and confusing information, or you may have realistic or needless worries and concerns about adopting a baby. Based on my many years of experience, I suggest that you do several things before you spend a lot of time and energy that may not be productive. First, number one, determine from where you want to adopt, that is, a domestic adoption involving a U.S. child, or an international adoption which involves adopting a child from a country other than the United States. The processes are very different. Number two, determine what kind of child you want to adopt, starting with the age of the child you're looking for, an infant or an older child. 3, what racial or cultural requirements do you have regarding the child? Next, what are your financial resources and how much can you afford to spend? 5, are you looking for a healthy child or infant, or can the child have some special needs? And finally, number 6, what other restrictions do you have regarding the child and or the birth parents? Now, based on at least these 6 issues just reviewed, you can collect meaningful information by calling adoption agencies, searching the internet, talking with others who have adopted, and or contacting adoption professionals. Take your time and review as much information as you want and or need. You will need to decide if you want to use an adoption agency, adoption facilitator, a public agency, which is typically the state foster care system, a private for-profit adoption agency, or a private not-for-profit agency such as ours. Note that I have other chats that can help you understand the different kinds of adoption. As the founder and director of a not-for-profit agency, I recognize that I'm biased, but even putting my bias aside, after all these years of helping families, I have found that in order to protect you and make sure you get all the help that you need and want, the best route for you to take is to work with a fully licensed and not-for-profit adoption agency like ours or any other agency that is fully licensed and not-for-profit. By far, that is the safest and easiest way to go. All too often, I hear from adopting families who have had problems working directly with a birth mother or with a private adoption attorney, or with an adoption facilitator. They call with problems that could have been avoided, but by the time they called me, it was too late to undo or overcome the problems. Don't let this happen to you. When you read a horror story about child adoption in the news, all too often it is likely to be a private or a facilitator-based adoption. In fact, several states do not allow private adoptions or facilitators and require that, for the safety of everyone involved, all child adoptions be conducted only through a licensed adoption agency. Overall, I have found that private adoptions are typically more risky than agency adoptions for both the birth parents and the adopting family. Now, to find an agency that is just right for you, you can try searching the internet, or you can call us and or go to our website for information about us or for a list of other adoption agencies in your state. Understand that many agencies have restrictions regarding things like your age, marital status, religion, sexual orientation, length of marriage and family composition, state of residence, or even your infertility status. With our agency, we do not have any of these restrictions, but as with any agency you call, you need to make sure that they can help you given what you are looking for. You will have to ask each agency about their restrictions and if they are flexible enough to help you given the type of child and type of adoption you want. You can also ask them about your wait time and about how they match the birth parents and families, and also very important, the total cost after paying everything to everybody and not just their specific agency fees. Take your time and review as much information as you want and call as many places as you want. If the people you call do not have the courtesy or time to talk with you, then just move on to someone else. Then, request an information packet including a registration form. But, and this is very important, do not send any money until you call the state licensing authority to check on the people you are thinking of working with. Note that every legitimate licensed adoption agency has such an authority, and advise you never to send money to anyone until you check with the agency's licensing authority. And if you choose an attorney, you should check with the State Lawyers Association. And if you select an adoption facilitator, which I do not suggest, call the state authority licensing them. Only after checking with the licensing authority should you send someone money and then begin a home study process that is required by every state for every type of child adoption, with the exception of step-parent adoptions and some relative or family-based adoptions. I know that the above can be much to absorb, but I hope it has been helpful. If you want more information about this or any other adoption issues, you are always welcome to contact me or my staff at the number and/or website address shown in the description of this video. My best wishes to you and those you love.